Okay, everyone, welcome back to DSP versus the Internet, episode 72. We're still in the Ultra Member videos. Let's continue on and see what's next. 5 minutes, Singapore's anti-corruption journey. Okay.
They say life was simple back then.
Stop there! Get lost! Get lost! Go away!
Go away!
Yet, things were not what they seemed.
Oh, let's go.
So what, they were police, but the police took the opium for themselves?
Trust could be bought. It was every man for himself. To survive, we had to keep quiet. There was nothing we could do but
Nothing
hope
we can do.
for change.
So they're basically showing how corrupt Singapore used to be, I guess, right?
Corruption Act was passed today. While directed mainly at corruption in the public services, it is applicable also to corruption by private agents, trustees, and others.
Well, off to work in my shitty job.
Times
Dead-end job. Off to
but we pushed
gambling.
on. There were small victories, but change took time.
It is not possible to enforce high standards of
Is
integrity.
this Singaporean fallout? Yes, of course. The bombs will drop any second.
Tolerates
Then off to the
any
shelters.
corrupt behavior amongst his own ranks. All those who hold office must abide by strict standards of public and private conduct.
No one was above the law.
Don't worry.
Doing the right thing is never easy.
Uncle, you gave me extra 20 cents.
But we have to keep fighting.
Oh, is that him older now? He got much older? Yeah. Yeah, and his daughter grew up.
CDIB to deal direct on complaints of corruption against the minister should the Prime Minister withhold his consent for CDIB to mount investigations.
Royal Mountie Ice Patrol says, I don't believe Singapore really exists. He thinks it's fake. It's not a real country. Maybe it's a very, very strongly established PR campaign for something that doesn't exist. That would be fascinating because one of my moderators is from Singapore. And I've watched all these videos about Singapore. It's all fake, huh? So Singapore is actually that person. It's not really a person. It's a fake. It's a cover. Yes.
Look beyond
Wow.
falsehoods and stay true to what we believe in.
I don't get it. Something's missing.
Because it becomes how they see the world. The work is thankless.
So his daughter works for the Corrupt Practices Bureau.
But
Look at
strength
that.
comes from adversity. Even if it means turning in our own.
Oh, shit. What's going down? Oh, shit. Get that woman right now. No, I will not accept the bribe. You're going straight to jail.
It's about having conviction in what you do.
Straight to jail for you.
And keeping faith that the truth will be found.
Okay? I'll get back to you.
All right, let's get him. Gulag time for you.
Hi, I'm Judy from CPIB. We are here to search the place and to bring in Mr. Tok Hian Yew.
To do what? What are you doing?
Mr. Tok, please come with us.
And he was never seen again.
Working hard to leave corruption in the past. Taking nothing for granted.
What is our secret to keep Singapore clean? There's a Chinese proverb, 上梁不正，下梁歪. It means if the top beam is askew, the bottom beam supporting it will be crooked. It is most important that Singapore remain a place where no one is above scrutiny. We started with strong political leadership, a leadership determined to eradicate corruption, and we have maintained this ever since.
What we stand for will become the lives that they lead.
Mr. Lee Kuan Yew knew right from the start that Singapore...
And then he was arrested and sent to the Gulag too. Wow. So it's basically supposed to be a history of how it took a very long time, but Singapore changed to get rid of corruption, or so the video says. Okay. There you go. Let's continue.
I baked you a pie.
Oh boy, what flavor?
Pie flavor.
It's only 2 minutes. ASDF movie 2. 65 million views 14 years ago. So holy shit. This is super old. This would have only been like 2010-ish, right? Around the time, or maybe 2009, 2010-ish. Wow. Super early YouTube stuff.
I like dancing.
I like trains.
Hey, it says gullible on the ceiling.
Oh, so you stole my lungs. Die, potato. Not today.
Haha! They said I could never teach a llama to drive. No, llama, no!
Doctor, I think I might be a homosexual. How can you tell?
Rainbows. What are you, a man or a mouse?
Hey kids, I brought you some cookies.
I like trains.
Desmond, the moon bear.
How did I get here?
The end.
I can't read.
Kitten fight!
No, wait! I'm allergic to adorableness!
Oh.
I get the premise, but none of the jokes have been funny at all, right? Like, 65 million views, 14 years ago, humor was different because, like, I don't find a single one of these gags funny. They're like, some of them are puns and some of them are like dark humor or ironic. But I don't think there's been a single joke that has stood out as actually funny, right? We're almost done. We might as well finish it. Maybe I'll laugh once. Let's see.
What are you up to, son?
I like trains.
Yes, you do. Hey, you know who's gay? You.
That's it?
I can't wait to eat this bagel.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Cake ball.
I don't even know what do I commentate on? There wasn't a single joke that was funny. It was nonstop back-to-back jokes with the trope of having a television station static channel change between them, but none of it was funny. Like, literally, not a single joke was funny. So, I don't know. All right, well, let's see what's next.
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it! 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 Aw, dang it!
So if you don't get it, that literally was exactly what I said Street Fighter 6 is when you're in the corner against a top-tier character. All right, what does that mean? Oh, by the way, how many views did that have? I'm just curious.
Let's go!
See, not many. See, I told you guys, FGC videos don't get a lot of views. Very rarely. And if they do, it's usually someone doing a video essay that, like, covers a bunch of games. It's not anything about, like, competitive play. It'll always be, like, you know, covering the history of Street Fighter and this and that or something like that. It's never something that's, like, has to do with the modern game competitiveness. The competitive Street Fighter videos don't do very well. And I know from just watching them, they don't get a lot of views on YouTube. But anyway, if you're wondering what this means, basically in Street Fighter 6, when you get thrown into the corner, okay, your back is to the wall, and you're fighting any top tier character, they're selecting Ken here. Essentially, you now are in a mini game. You're no longer playing Street Fighter 6. You are playing a guessing game that's just gambling. Okay? What does that mean? Well, let's go gambling. What you have to do is guess what they're going to do and basically try to, how can I say, counter what the opponent is doing and get out of the corner in a safe method. But the problem is a character like Ken, so he can do a high punch, he can do a low kick, he can do an overhead, he can step back once and then do a move to bait your move. He can throw, he can neutral jump. He has like 10 options. So you have a 1 in 10 chance to guess correctly and do the right move to get yourself out of the corner, which is ridiculous. It shouldn't be gambling. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but that's how it is. In Street Fighter 6, it's a gamble. That's what he's saying. Dang it, every time he's like, he's rolling the dice, wrong outcome, wrong outcome, wrong outcome, wrong outcome, wrong outcome. What they should have shown at the very end is that he guesses right, but his guess isn't even enough to get him out of the corner. Seriously, they should show like he hits once, but then, oh, because it's Ken, he gets the advantage after the hit anyway, and he gets to still push you back into the corner. That would have even been more accurate, you know? So anyway, I get what the video is. Sadly, not a lot of people would really understand it, and that's probably why it only has 2.7 thousand views, even though it's a very pertinent video to Street Fighter 6. Okay, let's continue. What's next?
The Supreme Court delivered a heavy blow to Special Counsel Jack Smith's election.
Okay, so this video is political, but it's very pertinent to something that just happened. I actually don't understand the full repercussions of it, so I'm going to watch this video along with you and try to learn what just happened. Here we go.
The Supreme Court delivered a heavy blow to Special Counsel Jack Smith's election interference case against former President Donald Trump, ruling along partisan lines that Trump has broad immunity for acts taken while he was in office.
This will be referred to from now on as a landmark opinion of the Supreme Court. It's not only important for President Trump's criminal case, they really have set a framework for all future presidents.
In August 2023, a federal grand jury indicted Trump in an unprecedented criminal case, charging the former president with 4 crimes related to his alleged attempts to overturn the 2020 election.
Donald Trump's defense team puts forward this argument that a former president should be held completely immune from prosecution for any of the acts that they performed while in office.
I feel that as a president, you have to have immunity. Very simple.
After a lower court rejected Trump's immunity claims, the former president appealed, and on July 1st, the Supreme Court gave him a sweeping amount of protection against criminal prosecution.
The court's very explicit about this. It lays out its framework by saying, quote, "The nature of presidential power entitles a former president to absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for actions within his conclusive and preclusive constitutional authority."
So here's what I don't understand about just that statement. Okay, they're saying when you're president, you're acting within your constitutional authority. You're doing things that the Constitution of the United States gives you the right to do. Hence, they are legal acts. Okay? Why is it then that if you're out of office, that those acts could become illegal and you could be prosecuted for them? That's what I don't understand. So the ruling says as long as you are president and you're doing things within the constitutional rights of a president, you are okay forever with that. Correct? Okay. So what did Trump do when he was in office that now they're deeming that he's out of office, that now he can be prosecuted for, but it was within his right to do so when he was president? That's what I don't understand. What is it? They're saying when he was in office, he essentially incited a riot to try to stop him from basically being removed as president. But is the Supreme Court is only saying you're protected from acts you did as president that are protected by the Constitution. Does the Constitution say a president could do that? Or is there no legal evidence that he actually did that? And that's what the issue is. it almost seems to me like what they're arguing doesn't make sense. But then again, I don't know what is the original case here. I don't know. They didn't really explain it. They didn't really say exactly what the original case was. So because of that, I don't know how this ruling affects things. Let's keep going with the video.
What the court is saying in this part is quite surprising. They're basically saying that nothing he does in terms of pressuring the Justice Department to investigate whoever he wants to investigate as president can ever be subject to criminal liability.
No, they're not. They're saying whatever he does under the Constitution. If the Constitution is written and says the president has absolute power, then that's what they're ruling. Does the Constitution say that? What does the Constitution actually say? You're not answering that question. You're saying, oh, he has absolute power. No, it says he has power within the realm of the Constitution. So let's review the Constitution and see what it says his powers are. Why are we just saying, oh, no, it's just blanket immunity? That's not what the ruling said. We need to know what the Constitution says, and then we can deem what they actually rule means.
The High Court's opinion also says that Trump is entitled at a minimum to presumptive immunity from prosecution for all his official acts.
Okay, official acts. So things he did officially under the guise as President of the United States. Okay, what's considered an official act? What's considered an unofficial act? Is there a legal guidelines? Is that in the Constitution? That's what we need to know.
However, a court could determine that some conduct, such as a campaign speech or fundraising, constitutes an unofficial act.
The Supreme Court says, quote, the president enjoys no immunity for his unofficial acts, and not everything the president does is official. End
okay.
Quote. So a big question here is, when was President Trump acting in his official capacity as President of the United States versus when was he acting as candidate for re-election?
We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
When President Trump gives his speech at the Ellipse on January 6th and suggests to his supporters to go to the Capitol, is he speaking as political candidate or is he speaking as president? The majority opinion doesn't tell us which. They give the lower courts some quote-unquote guidance, but that will be a key determination as to whether that can even be part of the allegations, even part of the evidence that could be used at trial.
The court's 3 liberal justices could barely contain their outrage. The dissenters said the majority opinion makes a mockery of the principle foundational to our Constitution and system of government, that no man is above the law. Having won from the court nearly everything he could have hoped for, Trump celebrated in a Truth Social post, writing, "Big win for our Constitution and democracy." President Biden called the court's decision a terrible disservice to the people of this nation.
Today's decision almost certainly means that there are virtually no limits on what a president can do. This is a fundamentally new principle, and it's a dangerous precedent.
The ruling sends the case back to federal district judge Tanya.
I mean, no, it didn't. I mean, it's not what it said. Why did you're the president. You disagree with what the president, with his ruling and how it affects the presidency. So the first thing you do is you spread misinformation about the ruling. No, it does not give the president absolute power. It says you cannot be prosecuted for something you did as an official act. Well, an official act as president should be something that's protected by the Constitution, because the Constitution gives you the right to do things as president. So what Trump did as president that was under the Constitution considered an official act as president is protected, right? And the guy literally just said, so we have to figure out when he's at this rally and he's saying, do not concede, go to the Capitol, right? Is that an official act or not? That's what needs to be determined. Biden immediately comes out, oh, so now presidents can do whatever they want. Wrong. You're the president, and you literally just went out there and you did something completely wrong. You lied to the American public. And by the way, I'm not saying Trump doesn't do that too. I'm just saying, do you see my conundrum when it comes to, oh, who's better for president, Trump or Biden? Neither. They're both horrible. Literally, the first thing he did, he went out there and lied. But Trump is always lying. So you got 2 fucking liars. Like, great. That's what we need for our leader, right? Definitely. Oh, my God.
Chutkan in Washington.
The next step is for Judge Chutkan to engage in what we call fact-finding. She will now apply the Supreme Court's framework to the allegations to determine what is official versus unofficial conduct.
Okay.
If it is official conduct, is it absolutely immune? If it's not absolutely immune, is it presumptively immune? And if it's presumptively immune, could the government rebut the presumption? That's all a hodgepodge of very difficult legal questions.
Yeah.
I think it's inconceivable that there will be a criminal trial before the election.
If Trump is elected to a second term, experts say he has several options to quash the case.
President Trump would be the head of the executive branch of the Justice Department. He could order the Justice Department just to stand down. He could say on day one, I have determined this was a witch hunt. President Trump could potentially try to issue a self-pardon, though that's more controversial, and even the Justice Department in the distant past has said that a president cannot pardon himself.
Huh. All right. See, that was good because it actually explained it nicely. So now the courts have to figure out what's an official act and what's not. It's like, what a fucking mess, right? What a fucking mess. Our country is not in a good place right now, guys. It's not. It's just, it's like no matter what happens with this upcoming election, I feel like we're screwed. And that's sad. I don't feel like there's a good outcome. I feel like there's bad and bad. So what's going to happen? I just really don't know. Man. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this part of DSP versus the internet. When we come back, we will continue on with these Ultra member submissions. I hope that you're enjoying the show. I will see you in part